The gravel beneath my rental car crunched as I drove up to my home on Oak Ridge Drive, exhausted from a week at a forensics conference in Denver. A detective with the Springfield PD, I'd spent days analyzing fingerprint groups and crime scene photos, longing for nothing more than a beer and my couch. But the instant I opened my front door, my dream was transformed into a waking nightmare. A reek struck me like a blow. Moldy food, old pizza, beer mouth, and something akin to the stench of failure. My gleaming hardwood floors were now a trash dump. Pizza boxes, beer, and mounds of filth littered every square inch. My 65-inch television blared at me from a trashy reality show. Flies buzzed moldy food crusts on my coffee table. Burn marks speckled my carpet. And then I heard them. Footsteps in the basement. My man cave. My private sanctuary. I stormed down the stairs, rage simmering in my stomach, and there he was. Reclined like Jabba the Hutt on my Italian leather sectional was Justin Caldwell, the 25-year-old bottom-feeder son of my neighbor, Vanessa. Greasy brown hair, sauce-stained face, stomach hanging out of my gym shorts, feet black with grime up on my glass table. "Yo, Mr. Turner," he groggily muttered, half-chewed. "Didn't think you'd be back yet. Mom told me you'd be away, like, 2 weeks." "Excuse me?" This wasn't trespassing, it was an assault. My pool table was covered in comics, my clothes were dirty and scattered everywhere, and my bar had been cleaned out. I glared him down. "Justin, what the hell are you doing in my house?" He really rolled his eyes. "Chill out, man. Mom said it was okay. She's got your keys. Said you two talked it out. I'm getting independent, you know." Independent. On my couch. Wearing my clothes. Trashing my house. I counted to 10, then 20, then said it as slowly and quietly as I could. "Your mother lied. This is burglary, theft, property damage." But Justin just blinked as if I'd spoken in Morse code. "But Mom said, I don't care." I lashed out. 20 years of dispersing barroom brawls and pursuing murderers. And this pig was what pushed me over the edge. That's when he lost it. He stood up, poking a greasy finger in my face. "I got rights. I've been here 6 days. That makes me a tenant." That was when something snapped in me. 6 days of destroying my house makes you a felon, you moron." He advanced, fists balled, spittle flying as he yelled, "Back off or I'll make you." He swung, a big clumsy haymaker. But I'm a seasoned detective. 2 decades on the job and still quick on the draw. I ducked and punched him in the belly with my elbow. He crumpled, gasping. I picked up my $800 pool cue, now his dirty back scratcher, and slammed it into his back. "This is for my house," I declared. Another hit. "This is for thinking you're above consequences." He wept, rolling into a ball. "Stop, I'm sorry." That's when the basement door burst open. "Justin!" screeched a voice that could peel paint. Vanessa Caldwell, HOA dictator, zebra-striped spandex jumpsuit, bleached hair aflame. She came bounding down the stairs like a crazy linebacker. "Get off my son, you monster!" Justin crept to her on all fours like a kicked puppy. I took a step back, letting the cue fall. "Vanessa, your son crouched in my home, destroyed it, and assaulted me. Consequences." But Vanessa wasn't visiting for sense. She pulled out her phone, calling 911. "Help! There's a black man assaulting my son," she screamed. "He's violent, dangerous." My gut churned. She broke into my house, and now she was playing the race card to criminalize me? "I'm a detective," I said, spreading empty hands. "He's armed," she falsely shouted. "Aggressive! Hurry!" Sirens screamed in the distance. Neighbors pressed against blinds. When the door swung open, it was Martinez, Chun, and Rodriguez, my friends. Martinez blinked. "Detective Turner?" I nodded. "Evening. Apologies for the mess. Vanessa broke in, moved her son in. I found him today." Vanessa wept. "He attacked my son. My poor Justin." Martinez looked at her for a long moment. "Ma'am, Turner's a detective." Her face turned white. Justin whimpered. "Mom said it was cool." Martinez demanded proof. Vanessa stuttered. "He's never here." "I'm HOA," Chun interrupted. HOA doesn't cover breaking and entering. Vanessa slumped. I was helping my son by breaking in, I said. Martinez asked if I wanted to file charges. I gazed at their pathetic faces. That depends, I said. Justin departs now. Vanessa returns my keys and we're finished. Rodriguez's eyebrows shot up. Keys, Vanessa admitted. I made a copy of his backup for HOA responsibilities. Martinez shook his head. That's another offense. Vanessa addressed Justin. Pack up. But Justin, as usual, flipped out. I'm staying. This is my house. Martinez calmly said, Son, leave or you're under arrest. That's when Justin bolted from my tiny basement window, screaming, I ain't going to jail. He tried to squeeze his 300-pound self through an 18-inch opening. Martinez lunged. The gravel crackled beneath my rental car tires as I turned into my driveway on Oak Ridge Drive, exhausted after a grueling week at a forensics seminar in Denver. I'm a detective with the Springfield Police Department, and after 5 days of taking apart print patterns, all I could think about was my couch, a cold beer, and quiet. However, the second I walked in the door, a reek assaulted me like a fist, a farty mixture of rotten pizza, sweat, body odor, and what can only be called perfume of failure. My sparkling hardwood floors were under a mass of beer bottles, pizza boxes, flattened cans, and dirt worked into the grain. What the hell? I bellowed, my bags thudding onto the floor. The living room was like a riot had ripped through a frat house. Moldy plates crawling with flies on my coffee table. My 65-inch TV blaring some garbage reality show. The leather couch stained beyond recognition. Burn marks on the carpet. Cigarettes, perhaps joints. Then I heard the foot traffic. From the basement. My man cave. My own office. The one with the high-end electronics and fully stocked bar. Instinctively, my hand flew to my holster, which naturally was still locked up from flying. I stormed downstairs, blood boiling, and there, lying on my Italian leather sectional like Jabba the Hutt, was Justin Caldwell. The 25-year-old sponge of a son of my neighbor, Vanessa Caldwell, the HOA tyrant next door. His oily hair surrounded a pizza sauce-stained face. He was sprawled across my gym shorts in my Superman shirt that had turned ketchup red and heaven knows what else. His filthy feet rested on my glass coffee table. He was eating the middle of a fourth open box from the devastation. Toilet paper dripped from my bathroom to his throne. Yo, Mr. Turner, he muttered, mouth agape. Didn't think you were back so soon. Mom told me you were away for, 2 weeks. I stood there aghast. This wasn't trespassing. This was an invasion. My mom said it was okay, he went on, holding up a slice. She's got your keys. Said you worked it out. This is my independence, bro. I counted to 10, then to 20. I'd talk down killers with less anger in my belly. Justin, you brain-dead slug, I snarled, voice honed by 20 years of apprehending criminals. I never consented. Your mother lied. This is breaking and entering. Theft. Vandalism. His face was sheer confusion, like a toddler confronted with quantum physics. But Mom said, I don't care, I barked. You're a criminal squatter. That's when he snapped out of it. All 300 pounds of grimy arrogance jerked upright and poked at me with a finger. Don't pull that cop stuff. I have rights. 6 days is 6 days. That makes me a tenant. I gaped. Then I moved in on him. 6 days of destruction in my house makes you a felon, not a tenant. He balled his fists. Back off or I'll make you, he bellowed. Mom arranged this for me to begin again. Then he swung, a flailing haymaker fueled by soda, pizza, and fantasy. I sidestepped. 2 decades of takedowns came into play. I elbowed him in the stomach. He went down, gasping. You attacked me in my home? I snarled, grabbing him by the hair. Think you're tough? I grabbed the $800 pool cue he'd been using to scratch his back and slapped it across his back. This is for my home. Another swat. This is for thinking there aren't consequences. He wept, huddled on the floor, pleading. Then the door to the basement blew open. Justin! Vanessa's voice shrieked. She stormed down the stairs in a zebra-striped tracksuit, bleached hair flying. "Get off my son, you monster!" Justin crawled towards her, whining. I let the cue fall and turned to her. "Vanessa," I told her, my voice cold, "your son crouched in my house, assaulted me, and vandalized my property. This is on you." She didn't care. She took out her phone and dialed 911, and immediately her tone fell into a whine. "Help! A black man's assaulting my son. He's threatening." That was the moment the blood in my body went cold. "Fake racial emergency to conceal a felony?" She continued crying into the phone. "He's threatening us. My son was just visiting here, and this guy assaulted. He must be armed. He's 6 feet tall. Belligerent." I raised helplessly empty hands, but she continued fibbing. Sirens wailed outside. My neighbors glanced out, Mrs. Larson and her binoculars prominent among them. Then a knock boomed on the door. "The actual police!" Vanessa screamed victoriously. I grinned. "I am the real police." She shrieked, "Lies!" Down came officers Martinez, Chun, and Rodriguez. Colleagues. Martinez blinked upon seeing me, then grinned. "Detective Turner." "Evening, Martinez. Sorry about the mess." Vanessa spun out her routine, but the instant Martinez heard the word detective, the dynamic changed. Justin bolted through the small basement window and got stuck, head and shoulders out, gut wedged like a cork in a bottle. "I'm stuck," he screamed, legs kicking. My Superman tee rode up like a white flag. Martinez radioed, "Dispatch, we've got a 300-pound squatter jammed in a window. Send the fire department." The dispatcher paused. "Seriously?" Soon my street turned into a circus. Fire trucks, ambulances, neighbors laughing. Fire Captain Hayes squinted at Justin. "I've seen rats in walls, not this." Justin whimpered. Vanessa loomed, having a heart attack over his claustrophobia. At 45 minutes, soap, and a hydraulic wedge, Justin burst out like a champagne cork. Soggy, panting, in my shorts. Neighborhood neighbors applauded. EMTs converged. Vanessa shrieked about bills from the hospital. Martinez spoke to me. "Pressing charges?" I nodded. "Vanessa, burglary, false reports. Justin, trespassing, resisting, theft." Weeks later, I sat in courtroom 3B. Vanessa and Justin appeared in front of Judge Clara Holt, lawyered up by some TV ad hack. Vanessa sniffled, blaming me for ignoring the community and keeping my house vacant. She said she was providing for the neighborhood. Then she made the mistake. People like him receive everything. Jobs, houses, handed to them. The courtroom fell silent. Judge Holt leaned forward. "You're telling me Mr. Turner doesn't deserve his own home because he is black?" Vanessa didn't flinch. "We built this place. It should be ours." Boom. 6 months in jail for Vanessa, 2 years probation, full restitution. Justin got probation and mandatory job training. The story hit the papers. The HOA ousted her. 3 families moved away just to avoid the stink. Even Mrs. Larson brought me a casserole to apologize. Justin, shockingly, got a job at a warehouse. One afternoon I received a text from him. "Sorry, Mr. Turner. Mom tells me don't say sorry, but I was mistaken. Thanks for not destroying me." I texted back, "Keep trying. Make better decisions." And I settled back in my refurbished basement, beer in hand, new couch beneath me, and a high-end security system online. Justice wasn't always quick, but when it hit, it stuck harder than a Caldwell in a window.